Just tell what you what was your journey like?
It was scary. Like even before landing, I didn't plan that much that, how we will manage, how will I get a rental place, how will I move.
And this is your second house, right?
This is my third now.
This is your third house, right? So 3 years, 3.5 years, and 3 houses.
Yeah.
So guys, today's video is going to be a fantastic and an insightful video for all aspiring immigrants, because this is the story of a self-employed professional who recently came to Canada. He has now made over $1 million and over 3 big houses in Canada within a span of just 3.5 years. Guys, this person was a businessman back in India and he's also doing business here. This is my friend Rohan, whom I have known since my college days back in India, and he's one of my closest friends here as well. So we asked him to come on board and share his life story with us. So today's video is the first video amongst our podcast series where we try our best to share lives of immigrants, their struggles and their settlement in this new country as an immigrant. So please enjoy this video till the end. We have made it with our heart and we are hopeful that you will love this. Please watch till the end. My name is Sahil. Welcome Rohan bhai on this channel.
Thank you so much, Sahil.
Great. I think we've been trying to come on this channel for a very, very long time.
Yes.
But finally you've come and you're a part of the first podcast today. So thank you for joining in.
Thank you for inviting.
Perfect. So I think both of us, we go way back in time. Like, we've been in college like when we were kids. So I was a kid probably, because you were my senior. So, but you came in 2018, right? 2018?
Yeah. Canada 2018, end of 2018, December.
I came in 2019 and I remember speaking to you closer to that time, like after 6 years when we had connected. No?
Exactly.
Yeah. So 4-5 years when we connected. So how's this journey been like? Like, tell me a bit about it. Like after 2018 December when you came in. So what were your first impressions? What was it like coming on a plane to, in December must have been very cold with a kid. Just tell what what was your journey like?
The journey, before Canada and after Canada, the life has been totally different. The life started changing when we, planned to move to Canada. It was very sudden. I remember 2018 February. I discussed with my family that, I got to know about express entry. I didn't even know about express entry prior to that.
Okay.
So I thought, let's explore this option. As soon as we decided, life started changing drastically. So luckily, it was very quick for us. We just planned, gave our IELTS exam. Quickly, we got our score, which was required, and got our PR within 6 to 7 months.
Oh, good.
Right away.
So you started in 2018 February.
Yeah.
So 6 to 8 months.
Exactly. I think October, we already got our PR done.
Okay.
And right away, as soon as I got the PR, we all were not expecting the process will be that smooth.
Okay.
I thought it will take 1.5 years, 2 years. It's not easy to get PR.
Correct.
So, but it, happened very quickly. And people, when I used to talk to a lot of people, what to do, what not to do, I got my PR now because it was not planned. So a lot of people said, okay, now wait, come in summer. I said, no, I don't have time to wait. Because the more you wait and the more, you talk to different people, they give you different advices.
Correct.
It gets into your brain.
And
then you tend to think more about your decision. So we quickly booked the flight and we landed on Christmas 2018.
So you had your Christmas here.
Yeah, 24th we landed, 25th was Christmas.
So I believe 2018, I think my PR came sometime in the month of April. And that's the time when I was posting those videos, my starting. I think you saw one of those videos, we connected on Facebook chat. And we were connected after 4 years, I think, 4 or 5 years afterwards, right?
Exactly.
So before I come to the, the main question that how did you, about your profession, I first wanted to know, like you landed in Christmas, right? Now, snow, winter and a 2-year-old. Like how old was Asmira back then?
Less than 2.
Less than
1.5 years old.
So how did you manage?
It was scary. And even before landing, I didn't plan that much that, how we will manage, how will I get a rental place, how will I move? I just went into it. And we didn't know anyone in Canada at all.
Nobody here?
Nobody.
Must have been a daring move, yeah?
Yeah. A friend of mine had a friend here in Canada. They were well settled, and they are very amazing people. They came to pick me up from the airport, and it was the first time I was meeting them with my luggage, with my daughter, with my family, and just outside the airport, and first time meeting those people. Went to their house. My first impression of Canada was amazing. I was listening to all the struggle stories, but when I landed, I got a Cadillac Escalade in front of me, and she drove. My friend's friend drove. We went to her home, and a housekeeper, opened the door. She gave us a glass of water. 2 dogs were there, 4 cars outside, big house in Caledon, north of Brampton. I was like, this is Canada? This is nice.
Seriously?
Yeah. So, and then our journey started. Within 4 or 5 days, we just moved out of their home because I just wanted to start my own, journey then. So from 1st of January, I, rented a basement. We rented a basement because we had to live in Brampton because my initial business started in Brampton only.
Correct.
So renting a house was not feasible at that point of time financially. So we rented out a brand new basement. We were again lucky to get a good basement there. And then we started our journey from that particular house. But challenges with my daughter, as soon as I remember my first night in that basement, we are coming from a joint family. She was having cousins, and their house help was there, and she was having fun there in India. Suddenly we landed in a basement where there is no window, no light, no car, nothing, and outside it's minus temperature. She cannot go outside.
Must have been
no TV,
depressing.
nothing in the basement, and and jet lagged. Still, she was jet lagged. She used to wake up at 2, 3 in the morning, and I thought it's gonna be difficult. Then I realized that I did something now. I really did
Now I'm
something
in Canada,
big. Yes,
right?
now I did something big. So life started changing then.
And then I met you in that basement also, right? Because just 2 months after that, I came, and then I saw you go through that. So there have been a couple of struggles in your life, right? So right from doing odd jobs to Ubers and everything in life. So tell me, how did you, and you're a successful realtor today, like you're making maybe millions at the moment. So and this is just a period of 4 years, rather not even 4, I think 3 years, 3 years and some months, right?
Exactly.
So before we come to what you do today, or maybe how has this journey been in the starting days? That's the main thing. So tell me the first 6 months to 1 year, the struggles that you went through in terms of job, the professional life.
So I would start my journey even I would like to tell you about how it started before coming to Canada. So because I belong to a business family, we had our own manufacturing business in India. You know that I've never done a job.
Correct. And I know it's a big business that you've got in Yamunanagar, right?
Yeah.
So
we have a manufacturing business there. So because I was leaving that business, so our coming to Canada plan started with my family supporting me and investing in Canada in businesses and settling down as a whole family part, like investing big chunk of money there. But due to some reasons, it changed when I started getting PR when I was closer to that particular point. Then a time came when I had to decide either go to Canada with almost no money, like only my savings, or don't go there. Live in India, manage your own business. That's it.
Okay.
So I had to make this big decision, and I made a decision. And I'm here.
And I'm glad you made the right choice.
Now I think it was a correct decision. Correct. So then I was in a dilemma that now I don't have an option of investment. It's gone. Number 1. Number 2, I cannot do job because I've never done a job. I was not willing to do a job. Third was doing a business with no investment. I started learning about what I can do without investing money. I tried talking to people, but trust me, it didn't help. What was helpful was YouTube. Whatever I am right now is just because of YouTube. People have shared so immense knowledge, so much training, so much about business. And trust me, they have given true information, which sometimes we don't give to each other, or we don't give it to our friends and family also sometimes. So when I started learning about industries in Canada, first industry came to me was trucking industry.
Okay.
So I thought I don't want to drive a truck, but What else can I do? I cannot buy trucks. I cannot drive truck. What is
More
the third
important, you
thing?
can buy trucks, but you can't drive, I'm sure.
Exactly. So what is the third thing I can do? So there is a freight brokerage thing. I'm not sure if you know about it.
Yeah, I know freight brokerage.
Freight brokerage. So I started learning about it, and I thought this will be my career.
Okay.
Because we can do it from our own office, from our own premises, and you can still grow unlimited. So I started following a person on YouTube who was explaining about the whole process, how to build a business and whatnot. Then I was introduced to the friend where we landed.
Okay.
And those my friends are in real estate and mortgage.
Okay.
So they said, why are you doing freight brokerage? Why don't you come into mortgage and real estate?
Okay.
I said, not bad. Because my initial plan was to buy homes for myself as an investor.
As an investment.
So I thought to myself that, even if I invest for myself, let's have a license and learn about the industry.
Correct.
Then I started learning about mortgages in India only.
Okay.
I remember I used to sit in my office in India, take the books, take the notes online. Everything was available. Studied there.
And that's why I remember, when I spoke to you in sometime in 2018, you were very clear that Sahil, I am not going to go to GTA.
Yeah.
And I think the city that you named was Kitchener.
Yeah.
I said, I'm going to live in Kitchener. I'm going to be a realtor. As soon as I land, I have my laser sharp focus. Like within the first 2 or 3 months, I'll be done with my realtor exams. And the next thing that I'm going to do is become a realtor. So how did you get that laser sharp focus? I have to do this only. Like, how did you point to that? It was because of YouTube?
Not because of YouTube, but I thought of other ideas.
Okay.
I didn't have money to invest, so I didn't get more businesses. I had some checkpoints. I had some points to be made before I start any career, because that was a new journey for me. It's not easy in your life to again and again change your career.
Correct.
So I had to be very, very careful with what I choose to be. Lawyer, doctors, we cannot do that anymore. Okay.
Correct.
I was into marketing and sales.
Correct.
Again, job was not an option. Now I wanted a career where I can be connected to people. Number one, because I love talking to people. I love service industries. So second, third, I wanted immense growth opportunity. Like if I work hard, if I'm focused, I need return for sure.
Correct.
And fourth is there has to be less investment initially, and I need to earn money quickly so I can handle my family. And I'm the only bread and like my wife used to work. I'll explain what she worked, but it was difficult for us to arrange the money, monthly expense and everything. So real estate was one of the industries which ticked everything. Every point was there. Okay. And everything as we planned, luckily there were struggles, obviously there were problems, but luckily it went according to the plan. Okay. So that's why I chose this industry.
Okay. So starting few months were very tough, right? So, yeah. I mean, when do you think was the first month that you told yourself that, okay, now this month I've made enough to take care of all my expenses? Because I know, the kind of lifestyle you lived even back then, it was not at all like people who would earn off, basic dollars. Like you were not spending like you were making $14 an hour. So when was the first month when you said that, okay, this month I am more than break even?
I never thought of the numbers for my initial months. Okay. Even if I have 50,000 in my account, which were my savings before coming to Canada, I used to think twice while buying Tim Hortons coffee. Trust me. Correct. And we used to share, me and my wife. And coming from a family background where we used to spend 10 to 15,000 Indian rupees on a restaurant dinner. So coming to a point where we think of buying before buying a coffee. And this was the reason we rented a basement. Okay. We didn't go. We never used to go to restaurants. Like takeout is fine, but never used to go to fine dine restaurants. No. So I never used to think that, okay, I have money I can spend. No, I cannot. Even while I was getting my license, I drove Uber right away as soon as I landed. So within 14 days after landing, I got my mortgage license done. Within a month, I got my driver's license. So Uber started. And within 3.5 to 4 months, I got my real estate license. Normally, people take 1 year just to get one license. So I wanted to be very quick in all these things. I didn't want to waste time. I drove Uber only till I got my real estate license. That's it.
I remember, yes.
As soon as I got my license, I left everything else. And at that point of time, my wife was working in a furniture store, Leon's, as a sales representative. Okay. I told her to leave her job right away. Real estate, we got it. We got the license. Now we have to be focused.
So the only thing that I can make out like a business lesson from this, from this entire thing is that one, you were pre-planned, right? And you were pre-planned to the minutest detail. and then you were executing it with much more confidence, right? Because say coming from a business family back home, and I know your business family, like, huge tons of money that you have back home. Now coming from a business family, you had to go to the down to the struggle that, okay, I'm driving Uber and I'm living in a basement, when you could afford living in a house also, right? But you had those expenses pre-planned so that you could make the cut afterwards, right?
Exactly.
So this is a business lesson that I'm drawing. Now another thing that I want to know is that, um, now that I know that you've recently bought almost a $2 million house, congratulations on that.
Thank you.
And this is your second house, right?
This is my
Third house.
Third house.
Third house.
This is my third now.
This is your third house, right? So 3 years, 3.5 years, and 3 houses.
Yeah.
And I know that real estate market in Canada is dipping like anything, right? Now, what used to be in 2021 or maybe 2022 early, it's totally the opposite. And I have heard that a lot of realtors are even quitting.
Yeah.
Okay. So what do you think differentiates you? Because whenever I speak to you, you're still very positive about the market, and I know you personally, so I know that you're still doing deals, right? So because I'm with you, like, we are looking at properties otherwise as well. So what do you think differentiates you with the other people? Like, what is it that you've identified that people are not able to identify?
So you might be knowing I have my own team now.
Correct.
So I always tell everyone that the first problem starts with the mindset. The market word comes to your mind as an excuse. I know market is different. Totally, agree with you. People are not getting that much business. Agree with you. But I do not even think about market at all. I don't think the market is bad. There is always a person who wants to sell or buy a house. You just have to help them. That's it. There will be never a time that there is nobody in entire Ontario, Toronto, that who nobody needs to sell or buy a house. It's not possible. If the prices are down, there are a lot of people who want to take an advantage of the situation and buy a house. If the prices are up, a lot of people want to sell the house. So number one, my mindset was totally different. I never thought that there can be a problem in finding business. Number two, I'd never try to sell to anyone. Like, if you come to me and you tell your situation that, Ron, this is my situation, and do you think I should buy or not? I'll never tell you to buy or not just right away. We need to understand exactly what's happening. What are the numbers? Why do you want to buy? What is the exact why? What is the reason?
Correct.
So it is possible that for some people it might not be a correct time to buy or sell. For some, it is correct time to buy or sell. So right now, why I am getting business is because if we give them a genuine advice, some people are buying right now who were talking to me in January this year. So take an example. They were planning to buy a house which was costing them $1 million in January, and now they are buying the same house for $750,000.
Correct. So they're in luck.
Yeah, the monthly payment will be same because of the rate of interest, increment, but the down payment is totally different. Totally different.
Correct.
Like, if you see 20% of 1 million versus 20% of
$60,000
$750,000,
less.
Plus land transfer tax is totally different. So closing cost is way less, and you have equity from the very first day.
And the amount that you need to borrow is also way less.
Yes.
Earlier you had to borrow 800K, now you have to borrow only 600K.
Exactly.
So yeah, that makes a big difference.
So now we try to find people who really want to buy and who will be benefited after buying.
Okay. So what I understand from you is that, to be successful in Canada, and I think this is the same principle that I'm applying to my business also. So the only thing that I understand from your conversation is Sahil, that you have to be dedicated towards the industry that you work on, even if it's a high or a low. You need to constantly make efforts, and then instead of making a sale, you want to understand the customer and provide a solution.
Yeah, consultation is the right word.
Consultation is
other than the sales.
Correct.
Sales,
Correct.
We're not selling a product.
Correct. So, when I also came to Canada, my mindset also was very similar, that, okay, I want to do a business that is not cost intensive or maybe like holding inventory and everything, but I want to do something that is on my brains, which landed me into this profession that I am. For you, I also considered realtor after I spoke to you, and like both of our, businesses, this was a red ocean strategy, जो we read in MBA, right?
Exactly.
So what took you through this red ocean strategy in a new country? Because now Canada is a new country for you, right? If you did this in India, I would say that, okay, you know the nuances of the market, you could leverage the network, the money and everything. In Canada, you had no network, you had no money, and you dived into a red ocean, right? Which was
Yeah.
a realtor. Like in Canada, we see that okay, you throw a stone away, you will find a realtor,
Yeah.
right? So how did you one muster the courage to do this, and secondly, what did you do differently to do this
So
in the starting days?
yeah, first I would answer the how did I get the courage to do this?
Hmm.
I feel every business, every job, they have equal challenges.
Hmm.
It's not easy to become a doctor.
Correct.
It's not easy to become a lawyer. It's not easy to open a business.
Correct.
It's not easy to run a store, restaurant, anything you say which gives you money. It's not easy.
Hmm.
So I wanted to do something which I love,
Hmm.
which will give me returns. And courage is required to start anything.
Correct.
Courage was required when I landed, when I entered the basement, when I spent my first night there, when I drove Uber. Courage was required. When I took a food bag to deliver it inside a mall for $3-4. That's it. And everybody was, NBA, Canada won NBA that year, 2018, I guess.
2019. Yeah,
2019.
2019.
So I remember that people used to celebrate and we used to work. So how I got the courage is because I didn't keep any exit door. There was no second option. There was no exit strategy, nothing at all.
Very important.
You have to be focused. Otherwise, if we keep second, third, fourth option, okay, I'll go back to my country and join my father's business again, or I'll do X, I'll do Y, I'll do a job, then you keep on going towards that direction because nothing is easy.
You get pulled up to that.
Always. There's no other option. It's human nature. It's our mind. They will take you to easier options.
Correct.
So courage was not a problem for me. I've never thought that I'll not be able to do it. It will take few months, 6 months, 1 year, 10 years, 15 years, doesn't matter. This is what I'm going to do and I will do it for sure. Now, the second thing is how did I manage to, get into this red ocean thing and, get out of it then. So I used to talk to a lot of real estate agents when I joined a brokerage and I changed my plan of selling in first few months to learning.
Okay.
So even before coming, I knew a lot of things about Canada and US both because YouTube, you find a lot of content of US also. So I used to learn a lot about US and Canadian market, real estate market. I used to learn about the structures, about the areas in Canada, especially around GTA, geographical areas, what is coming, what is going on there, what is the city planning, what is the government planning, everything. Types of homes in Canada. I used to learn everything online before even coming. Because as you said that as a newcomer, how will you help somebody buy a house?
Correct.
If you don't even know where is Brampton and where is Georgetown, how will you help somebody buy a house? So because of this learning, I was confident enough to talk to people. Okay. A lot of people, they don't know where small towns are, where affordability is. Then second thing is I decided for my initial at least few months, 6 to 8 months, I'll not do any sale, no transaction at all.
Okay.
I will work with my seniors. Seniors means more experienced, good realtors, very good professionals, and I'll help them for free. I'll learn from them.
Okay.
If somebody comes to me, I will, guide them with the help of that professional so that I am not taking a risk of putting someone in a situation where they can lose money.
Okay.
So I still remember I used to give my commission to those professionals. I used to work for free for few months. But then I was so confident after almost 5-6 months that when I used to sit in front of the clients, they were always surprised when I told them that I'm almost 1.5 to 2 years old in Canada now.
New.
So I think people, what they do is a lot of them, they just get the license and they run after clients.
Correct.
They run after sales.
Correct.
They don't even spend time on learning. So when you don't know something, why would somebody buy with you or sell with you at all?
Correct.
So
I think, yes, you're very correct that one, for newcomers, courage is very important. And I think and this is what I tell my clients also, right? Whenever you're coming to Canada, and in fact, I talk about this on my YouTube videos a lot. Like whenever you're coming to Canada, don't ever leave an exit door. And I, I learned this from you as well. And I did this to myself back in 2018. Like, don't have an exit strategy, because the day you think that, okay, I can go back, that totally messes up your mind. Okay. And you know that, okay, people back home will accept you, or, there is a job that back home that will accept you, you will not be able to make the cut. Second, I think amazingly important for everybody, like every newcomer, is you should be open to upscaling.
Yeah.
And you should be open to learning. Like, I'm sure you can agree with me that Indian, employment space or business space is way different than here, right?
Totally.
So if you're not able to learn the nuances of Canada, you can't be successful. And I've seen a lot of realtors, and when I was looking for my first house, and you know how our deal worked out, right?
Yeah.
Like, I think this was the first house that we saw, and we just bought it. Like,
Right away.
this was the first showing that we had, and this was done. Probably you did the right research, right?
Yeah.
We did talk a lot on phones and everything, but the first house that we saw, and you really helped me understand that what I wanted to buy, right? Now, but my main question here is that how different, as now you have been a businessman in India, like you were running this huge factory and manufacturing business, and here also you're running your own business, right? Now, how is the Indian business space or the business eco space as a business owner different than Canada? Okay.
That's a really good question. A lot of people ask me a lot, like because I have a business background. A lot of people call me from India and they say, "What business can we do there?" I have this factory there. Can I open the same factory in Canada? I tell them it's totally different. Don't even think that experience will count here at all. Like, so the major differences is, like from which town I come from. 50 to 60% of businesses in India, especially small scale, middle scale businesses, they are unorganized sectors. Very much unorganized sectors.
Hugely unorganized.
Hugely unorganized. And the problem is India is in a phase of transition right now. They are changing their taxation policies since almost last 4-5 years. They changed the currency. They are changing a lot of things in financial, all everything. And especially after COVID, I can see that organized sectors, private limited companies, more tech companies, even companies who are in manufacturing who are not using tech, they're not growing now.
Correct.
They're changing.
Correct.
So when I was in India, I learned one thing. Like, if I have to grow, I need to spend money like anything. I have to make another manufacturing unit and then double my production to double my profit.
Correct.
Double my income.
I think that not even that, just to meet the break-even expenses only you had to, because GST, I think 2018 GST came through, right? So GST really killed everything.
Yeah.
Like,
I was there when GST came. Notebandi was there, GST, and I was there in the business.
Yeah.
I saw everything.
So, I mean, how do you think all of that chaos, and how do you think operating a business here? Like, what difference can you clearly demarcate, ke Sahil, there I had these many tensions on my head, or maybe these many things to do, and here I have to focus on these many things. So what do you think is different?
First of all, the industries I'm working in are a little bit different. Manufacturing, and I'm in service industry, more of it. But on a general basis, there are a lot of differences. Number one is, I told you, organized and unorganized.
Correct.
Here everything is organized. Here, the another benefit is, for example, if we talk about my profession here and my profession there in India, like real estate agents in India versus real estate agents in Canada.
Oh, huge difference.
There
we call property dealers.
Yeah, property dealers, brokers. So now the main difference is trust. Even if the real estate agent in India is really good, really honest, and everything is good, still people, they do not trust at all, because nothing is on paper, nothing is open. A lot of things can happen under the table there. But here, the best part in my industry is everything is open. If you give me one name today and you say, "Ron, who owns this house? Give me their address," I'll tell you right away. Everything is public. Everything. So every paper we make, we explain everything to the clients. Clients can do their research also. We are licensed with RICO. If you face any problem with any of the professionals, we all are licensed. You are licensed. I am licensed. Mortgage advisor licensed. So we all have somebody sitting on us
to put a leash on us. Right?
Exactly. To see what we are doing. There, anybody can just put a board outside. No education required. No license required.
I've seen doctors also.
Do whatever you do. Do whatever you want to do there in India. That's little bit. I'm always concerned. If you give me an option, okay, Ron, let's go back to India. You have $50,000 or 25 lakh, 30 lakh rupees with you. Start a new life. I would have been scared to death.
Correct.
Like, what will I do with that money? Nothing at all.
When I was in India, I was working with my last company, SBI, when I was applying for this. So when I left Zomato, when I left Car24, after that, coming from that startup, I had that kida in me as well, that, I want to get into a startup, make a business for myself and everything. Even when I thought of keeping 25-30 lakhs, I was always scared to death. Okay, if I open this restaurant or if I open this shop or whatever, what if it goes down? What if tomorrow the policy changes? I was so scared. But here when I came, everything was licensed. I knew that there was an entry barrier.
Exactly.
So you remember when we read during MBA, entry barrier. Wherever there is an entry barrier, that means that thing can be successful.
Exactly.
So that's the first thing that I had in my mind. That's okay. Certain professions in Canada have an entry barrier, which means not everybody can practice.
Yeah.
It will take efforts for them to enter here.
Exactly.
So good. So I think yes, for newcomers, for people who want to pursue being either self-employed, like beyond both of our professions, accountants. Then there are mortgage licensees, and then multiple things to do. The beauty of it is that everything has an entry barrier. That means the competition can stay away.
Yes.
From,
not everybody can just put a board outside.
Correct. Not everybody can be.
I'm an immigration consultant or real estate agent.
Correct.
Not everybody can
Correct.
do it.
Otherwise, what will happen is everybody will start mushrooming up, right? So
Exactly.
that breeds unnecessary competition through.
Exactly.
I think that's the beauty of Canada, and that's an easy part. Another thing which I love about Canada personally is the availability of resources. The point that you picked up, that okay, everything is so organized that if you give me an address, I can tell you whosoever is licensed. This tells me of one thing, that my father came here. He said that, I told him that, okay, let's buy a house, and I was about to call you. You know what he told me? He said, tell Rohan to do, big checkup on paperwork, because people can, be fraudsters, take women, and that. Don't worry. Here, it's not like that.
Nothing can happen.
You don't have to worry. Either India, we don't do, there are freehold, but it's not as, like somebody sitting on your property, not giving it away. Aisa nahi hota,
they're changing. India, I think they're bringing new policies now. They're bringing
they're up to it.
They're changing. But like few years back, or even right now, it's difficult to investors also. They are scared a little bit buying properties in some areas of India, and here it's even when we get paid, whatever we get paid, it's written. Both the buyer and the seller signs. Nothing is hidden at all. It's exactly written on the paper. That
how much is the commission?
100%, genuinely written there. So no fear, because we're not stealing anything from anyone.
Correct.
It's
That's
a
the beauty
service.
of it.
So everything is written.
And I think every profession in Canada has that beauty attached to it.
Everything.
Like, sort of.
Every
the only thing that I don't like is that everything has to wait. But that again creates an organized way of navigating. And this reminds me of an example that, I was seeing this video. That person said, I think this is somewhere, he said that, okay, imagine everybody got up in the morning and started driving, no traffic rules, no red lights, no dividers, nothing. Everybody started going to work. And, imagine somebody would come from the left, right, and entire jam would happen. So to avoid all of that, you need red lights.
Exactly.
You need stop signs so that everybody can reach in 45 minutes, 50 minutes, but at least everybody can reach.
Exactly.
So there are rules. So Canada, at least we know that now there are rules that you have to follow, and, entry barriers and everything. Oh, great. So I think enough about businesses and everything, but personally, how's your life like? You were married with a kid in India, right? And small child. And then again, she's still very small and very cute. So married and with a kid here. Personally, life of the child, lifestyle, standard of living, and then, your house, car, everything. Personally, what do you think, or why do you think Canada is better than India, or what do you think is better?
I would say for me personally, my life has gone settled now. We have worked very, very hard, me and my wife. And now we live in a good house. We have a good car. My daughter goes to a good school, and she's very happy. We live in a very good neighborhood. Everything that you need to live a good life, we have it now. So now, if you compare, because my family, my brother is in India, so they have their kids there, my daughter's cousins. So I can actually compare their life with my daughter's life. Sometimes I feel that she's not getting that much pressure for education. She's not getting that much trainings. She's 6 years old only. But there in India, 6 years old, they can read, write properly. They know how to calculate. They're doing abacus. They're doing whatnot. And I get scared also, and I don't even believe sometimes that these young kids are doing
same for me.
So much.
Very tough.
But when I talk to my daughter, she's just going to school and playing. She's having fun. So, like, my parents are there in Canada right now. So we were discussing about kids, and they were like, she's not even studying for the whole day. I said, so what? She's just 6. Let her enjoy.
When I talked to Rudra about this, he said, I said, what do you do in school? He said, I'm collecting leaves, doing painting, enjoying going to the gym. I said, when do you even study?
I personally, I love this more than, creating pressure on kids from the it's so young age. I know, like, after certain age, they have to enter a competitive world and, get into competitions, study hard. I know everything will be there. But this age, I think, is for fun.
Correct.
Let them enjoy. They're learning also. And probably another thing I feel here is safety. I live in Ancaster. I love the area. Super safe.
It's a beautiful place. I've been to up here. Oh my God, it's very lovely.
I open my garage doors, even if I don't close them for 5 days, every night open, nobody will take anything from my garage.
Correct. And you could try doing that in India, you'll get to know.
So it's very safe. I can.
In fact, you can't do that in Brampton also.
No. My friend lives in Brampton. He just left it open for a few hours. His bike was gone.
Oh my God.
From the garage.
Yeah, even Brampton now has become hopeless.
Yeah. So, but there are good and bad neighborhoods everywhere.
Yeah.
In India also we have some really good neighborhoods, very safe neighborhoods. In Canada also we have some, good and bad neighborhoods.
Good and bad.
But as per my life here, I think my daughter eats very good food. She loves it. I don't know when last time we got stomach infection. I don't remember. I remember when I went to India. But like, the food quality that we get here is different. Very good. Water, air, we can actually breathe. Very, very properly. We can breathe. Whenever I get a call, and if the weather is okay, I know that I'm going to talk for 10-15 minutes. I go outside my house, always. Either I go to my backyard or I go outside my house and I talk there. I love walking. So in India, it was tough. If I used to get out of my factory in India, cow dung everywhere for me.
Everywhere.
Yeah, so it was like a little bit different there. I'm not saying good or bad about any of the countries. I love India. I love Canada, obviously.
Yeah, we love India.
These things are different.
Our parents are there and my parents don't want to come here.
My parents also. They're never going to come here.
So, and also like it's our home country, right? So we can't, and ultimately I will retire in India for sure.
Oh yeah.
I don't know if I will retire here, but retirement is definitely going there. But
in last 3 years, we have been to India and we spent 8 months there.
So you also went every year, right?
Yeah.
I've also been there every year.
Every year.
And by every year, I think 1 year I spent 6 months, and the other year I spent 4 months, and the other year I spent about 2 months. There 2 or 3 months. So, and I think you have also been there.
I spent 6 months, 2 months, and 1 month. My profession is a little bit different. I have to come back and work.
Yeah. But for me, like, I personally love India, but our profession is such. And now we're from a business background, and we really can't leave this place, and no reason of leaving also. I think it's good here and good there as well. I think it's the best of both the worlds, but everybody has to make a priority, right? So everybody needs to take their own decision that, okay, what do you like, what do you not like, right? So so if I were to ask you that, okay, you don't have any professional like employment experience, but what is that one advice that you would want to give to our viewers who want to do business here? Okay, so let's say a businessman has, say, $2 lakh or maybe $3 lakh, right? And he's ready to, or probably he's contemplating that, okay, I am doing this business in India. Okay, I'm doing decently okay. Because if he's doing extremely well, he would not come. He would not even think, right? Let's assume he's doing decently okay. What is that one advice you would give to that person that, okay, before coming to Canada, make sure that you do this well? What is that one thing that you would want to do?
The biggest thing is take care of your money that you're bringing.
Yeah.
Spend it wisely. Not like monthly expense, no. But when you spend on business, spend it wisely. I have seen people coming with $1.5 million to the country, cash, like in their bank account. They almost lost everything.
Oh my God.
So the problem is, as soon as somebody lands, they try to put their money towards a business and try to earn money right away. Again, it's a process. You're entering a new country. You need to understand the market. You need to understand the dynamics. You need to understand the people living here. What will they buy? What will they not buy? You need to understand the competition. It's totally different as compared to India. For example, if I tell you to open a hardware store, how will you run a hardware store when you have Home Depot everywhere? How can you compete them? If I tell you to open a big grocery store, which is not Indian grocery store, but normal, like Walmart, how can you compete with the Walmart?
It's impossible.
You cannot. So restaurants, Yes, but there is so high failure rate in restaurants because it's an expensive business to run.
Correct.
One of my friend has Symposium Cafe, franchises. So $12,000 per month is the rent,
Oh my
and
God.
it cost him $450,000 to buy that business.
Oh my God.
Not with land, only business.
Only the business.
Only business, and from the very first month, $12,000 rent plus salaries right away.
Easy 20 grand going.
Easily every month.
And then you have to buy produce, you have to buy raws.
That's all separate.
Then utilities. Oh my God.
So how will you survive? So my suggestion is research. Study everything. You need to know every single thing about the industry that you're going to enter. Every industry is good. Every business is good. You will see so many people getting successful into restaurants. They have opened their chains. So many people getting successful into grocery stores, opened their chains. Clothing business. What business you can name, they are successful. Manufacturing businesses, everything is done by a lot of different people. Transportation industry, there's so many options. Self-employed like us, insurance, mortgage, real estate, immigration, all these things are there. Nothing is easy.
But smart people are doing it.
Nothing is easy. Trust me. No, everybody is doing it, but smart people are successful.
Correct.
So everybody's doing it.
Correct.
It's not difficult to get a license for anything.
Correct.
It's difficult to sustain. It's difficult to work and create customers who can give you positive response. Create relationships. It's very difficult.
Correct.
So smart people are doing that.
Correct.
So business, I would say, spend wisely. Do not just rush into things because a lot of people will tell you a lot of good things about businesses. But trust me, when you jump there in that pond, it's always dirty.
Correct.
And you need to have the courage to clean it.
Correct.
I deal with businesses also. I've sold gas stations, businesses. So when we sell business to a direct client, I tell them the negative parts of the business other than the positive. Positive is still okay.
Correct.
You need to understand the negatives first. Will you be able to survive? Will you be able to work 10 hours every day, 12 hours every day? You have to open the store and close the store 7 days a week.
And during snow.
Exactly. No matter if somebody is coming in your store or not, you have to open the store and
You
close
don't
the
have
store.
a chotu to take care.
Exactly.
You have to do it by yourself.
You have to clean the store. You have to stack the inventory. You cannot
Clean the
hire
washroom
people.
for yourself.
Everything. You cannot hire people from the very first day. You need to look at your expenses also.
Correct.
Otherwise, you'll get into loss. So people like us who are in self-employed, they are actually not at least losing money. But business people, they will lose money. And you're not buying land. You're buying business.
Correct.
You cannot sell it on profit if you're not making money out of that business.
If you don't do good on balance sheets, you're gone.
It's gone. So your 200,000, 300,000 goes to zero right away.
Correct.
So it's very different market. Be very careful. Talk to professionals. Don't just try to talk to friends and, get the thing started. No. Take your time.
Correct.
Take it easy.
Take it easy.
Take it easy. Yeah.
And one thing that I want to know is that, okay, now again, coming back to the same thing, that 3.5 years, you bought 3 houses and they're worth millions of dollars. At least your recent one is over 2 million, right? So for a newcomer who's coming to Canada without any money from back, right? Now, say I also came to Canada and you also came, and no, you didn't get tons of money like, from India. How do you save up to buy your first house? Like, because for us Indians at least, buying our first home is a dream, right?
Yeah.
So it's not like we are coming from a different background, investing and everything. So I don't want to understand that, okay, buying a house, and I don't want you to give me an advice from a realtor point of view, but from a human being point of view. Like, I am about to buy my first house in Canada. I know that, okay, this is the only amount of money that I can buy. Say for people who are doing jobs, right? How do I save up to buy? Because right now down payments are running up to 100K, maybe say 50K, 70K. How do I save up if there's no money coming from back home? Or is there a strategy that you want to suggest?
Look, there is no magic stick that you can, get 50,000 in one day, 50,000 in 1 month. Nobody can give you that money at all. All the tricks that you see in the market, buy a house with 0 down, buy with no down. It's all just gimmicks. Nobody is going to give you money free. Okay. So you need to be strategic. You need to learn the process. You need to understand the numbers. And I would say a lot of people get emotional while buying their first house. So they say that, okay, for example, I like a house which is worth 1 million, for example, and money required to buy that house is $200,000 down payment. I don't have $200,000, but I have $100,000. So let's wait until I get $200,000 and I'll buy that house. By the time you save that $200,000, that will be $1.5 million house.
Correct.
Because supply and demand is totally different in Canada, as it's not same as other countries. So I tell them that do not get emotional. This is just your first investment. Consider it as an investment. Just instead of paying rent, 3,000, 2,500, 2,800 for a one bedroom unit, just buy something if you can. I see a lot of people, they will differ. They will say, no, renting is also good. I agree on that. A lot of people are happy on rent. They might stay on rent for their entire life. They don't worry about their assets. That's fine. Some people, they want to build assets. So for them, they need to remove the emotions, go on practicality. What they can buy with the money they have and how they can buy and when they can buy. Now they need to explore more options. For example, you live in downtown Toronto. Minimum price for in downtown Toronto for a house can be 1.4, $1.5 million. Smallest house, oldest house. And minimum price for a condo can be $700,000, $800,000. And you have something which you can buy only till $500,000. So you say, Ron, I can either wait for a few years or what do I do? So what smart people they do is, if they're renting in Toronto, okay, now you're renting in Toronto, you don't have any option, you keep on renting. That's fine. Buy something outside. Buy something in London. Buy something in Windsor. Buy something in Barrie.
Put it on rent.
Exactly. So at least you are paying rent at one place, but you are getting rent at the second place. So being thinking in that direction is difficult. It's not easy, especially when you have less money with you.
Correct.
And but what I think is people, they ignore talking to professionals. People, they ignore that whole area. They think that we cannot buy a house, so let's leave it. So they don't even give a thought. I think they should at least talk to professionals. Even if they don't want to talk to professionals, go on YouTube, go on online, find some information on your own and try to understand the process and then start saving. Okay. Sometimes people think we need 50,000 minimum to buy. It's not true. You can buy even less as $25,000 if you have that.
Correct.
Some people, they think that we need to wait for 1 year to buy. It's not true. You can buy within 1 month, 2 months, 3 months after landing. So it depends upon your situation, how much money you have, and everything has a solution. Solution can be done in 1 month. Solution can be done in 2 years. But to do that solution in 2 years, you need to know the path.
Correct.
How do you know the path? By doing your research.
Correct.
By learning about that. House is something that you cannot avoid for your life. Either you have to rent or buy. Something you have to do. You cannot live on the street.
Correct.
So if you have to buy or rent, at least study about it.
Correct.
At least talk about it to professionals. So I think getting knowledge, getting information on how to save is important if you know how much you need to save.
Correct.
You know, if I have the final number, I need to save this in 6 months, you can at least do that. So the first step is at least get the information.
So I remember when I was buying my first house, I was so fulfilled with apprehensions that, okay, how will I pay my mortgage and, how will I buy, how am I going to save up? So I was speaking with Vaibhav and, he actually pushed me and I also spoke with you. You also pushed me that, okay, let's go ahead and buy a house. So first thing that I did personally was to save up close to what I thought I would buy. Okay. And the second strategy that worked for me was I had set up a budget for me. Like I did not want to cross that budget. Like come whatsoever,
Exactly.
I did not want to cross that budget. I think the biggest mistake that people do is that they start looking for example, say 600K houses, and then they would end up buying 850 just because they like something. Again, your thing.
Emotions.
Just emotions, right? So, and then they suddenly realize that things have gone out of hands and they want to go to mortgage guys, do anything and everything to buy that, and then suddenly the interest rates shoot up and then they realize 850K is beyond the budget, right?
Exactly.
That is the biggest caveat. I think the first thing to do is basically identify your budget, and then you should, that's what I use. And then instead of going with the house, and this is the advice that my mortgage guy gave me, Gaurav. So he said, instead of looking at the house value, how much will it go, how much can you invest, everything, he said, look at one thing, and that's the mortgage payment. Are you able to repay the mortgage?
Exactly.
In the event that you go jobless for 6 months, or in the event that you don't have to rent, like you don't get a guy to rent, house goes on flooding or whatever, do you make enough out of your monthly salary or business earning that can you pay the rent? I said, now that is a great advice. The day I was comfortable in paying that rent, no, I said, okay, let's go. Now is the time to buy. And I had closer to that money. And then, everybody offered to help. You also offered to help. That, okay, if you need anything extra, I'll give you. Even Webov helped. And everybody wanted to help. But fortunately, things worked out because, it's a law of attraction.
Yeah.
So, when I was ready mentally, when I was close to that number, no, everybody offered to help. But fortunately, I did not need any help. Like somehow it all got saved up. But the only number that I had in my mind was my mortgage payment. That am I able to pay this mortgage in the event anything goes wrong? And touch wood, I think that's been the best decision for me because now I'm happy. I don't have to move, and I'm sitting here comfortably, right? So I think that's the best thing.
No, one thing I remembered, when you were talking about Canada, India, and your life and everything, people made us successful in this country.
Correct.
Like the friends we have, the connections we have. I think they're more stronger than what we used to have. Like I have great friends in India. I love them. But still, the contacts we have here are so much stronger because this is what we have. We don't have families here.
We're all immigrants.
We all are immigrants. We all are families to each other. We all, if we need $50,000 at midnight, there will be so many people who will write a check right away. They know me only since 2-3 years. That's it. When I bought this house, and I was scared. It was a big purchase for me. Like coming from basement and becoming a landlord and buying this house was scary. So I called 5 to 6 friends of mine, including you, that if I need money, be ready. Be ready. So like it's always the same. Anybody does any big thing here, we all have people, we all have relations we can trust and we can help. And here I see it's more helping nature than anywhere else. Because we have been through it.
We all become vulnerable once we're out, right? We're not in the home country. We are not in the comfort of our parents. And now we know that, okay, if you need something, then I have to be there because otherwise it'll be a big failure on you, right? So
100%.
And if you suffer, then obviously it's something that I take it as a personal failure also, right? So I think, yes, we're all families here and everybody's an immigrant, especially in Canada. And Canada immigration is fairly new, right? So I think we all connect with each other. So that's a good thing. Perfect. So I think this has been an amazing conversation, right? So tons of things that you've shared, right? So thanks a lot for sharing everything. So anything that you want to say to our viewers as a parting advice or any parting?
I would tell everyone that whoever is planning to come or whoever is not even planning to come, that's okay. Stay in India, love Canada. Everything is good. But, I'll tell everyone, whenever you come to Canada, maximum times you will remember India is when you wash dishes. The second thought comes is let's go back is at night at 9:30 when you're washing dishes. Then you think, okay, let's go back to India. So
don't let that go.
This happens to me every time. Whenever I'm washing dishes, I said, let's go back.
You remember my thing when I told you that we are having a blue label?
Yeah.
And whenever you sip, and how does it feel that after you're done with the drinks, you have to pick up the garbage and go outside?
And throw the garbage.
So that is the day when you think that, okay,
every place has their own benefits and, negatives.
Correct. So don't forget.
Yeah. See what you love, do what you love, and you need to just be happy. That's it.
Correct. That's good. Great. Thanks for coming in.
Thank you so much, Sahil, for inviting me.
We'll have you soon again once over.
Thank you.
Take care.